So at school, I've kind of become that girl obsessed with her TheraBand. I tell everybody about them, even non-dancers in my classes, and I don't think that's a bad thing because TheraBands really are awesome. If you don't know what a TheraBand is, it's just a resistance band. TheraBand is the brand name, so a lot of people just call them TheraBands, like Kleenex. But they just look like this. Doesn't look like much. It's kind of like a plasticky feeling. Variety of colors. Typically the colors tell you how much resistance there is. This is like a silver one. It looks more gray, but it's called silver. And it's really high resistance. It's one of the highest ones. I also have a blue one, but I'm not sure where I put that right now. But this is the one I use for my feet anyways, and that's what we're talking about in this video. Because that's mainly what I use it for. And I tell everybody about using TheraBands for your feet because I end up talking to a lot of people in my classes about feet, which seems weird, but I mean, it's kind of normal when you're taking dance classes. And a lot of times what I hear from people is, oh, I could never dance, my ankles are so weak, or oh, my feet hurt so bad because my arches are super flat. And typically that's because they wear shoes with no arch support. And I'm like, well, that's kind of your fault. How did you not see that coming? But this is how I tell them to fix that, or maybe not fix it permanently or completely, but at least help that. So basically, if you don't have one of these, you can get them at like athletic stores, if you got like a sporting goods place, or a physical therapist, they tend to have them. Sometimes you see them like in loops, but it doesn't really matter. Anything works. So I'm going to be showing you how to use one of these to strengthen your feet and ankles. You can use it for a lot, but that's what I mainly use it for. So we take the TheraBand, we're sitting, and what you're going to do is you're going to take it flat, and you're going to wrap it around the ball of your foot. Make sure your toes aren't poking out either, or it'll end up slipping off. I learned that the hard way. So you've got it wrapped around, just get your other foot out of the way, and you're just going to pull against it. So there's that resistance there, resistance band. So you've got it covering the ball of your foot. Stay in parallel for this. I know sometimes it's tempting to do that, but just this is easier to keep an eye on. And you're just going to pull the band against your foot so you've got a lot of resistance, and you're just going to push through the demi-point. And then if you'd like, you can go to a full point. If you're just working on strengthening your ankle, or you're not really a dancer and you're just looking to kind of work the entire area, just go to a demi-point. Just keep the toes back. It's a lot easier. It's kind of weird pointing with your toes through the band, especially if you're like me and your toes are kind of weird. I've got some joint issues in my toes and it is kind of strange, but just pull and point. You're just pointing through the ankle and through the arch, and that kind of works down here, and it really strengthens your ankle because it has to push against that. It comes really helpful when you're doing point work and you have to kind of roll up through your shoe, which your ankle's not used to doing. It's not used to having to push against that much and work that meticulously, and this can really strengthen your ankles if you're looking to get into point work. I guess I can show you guys more of the ankle. So yeah, you can just do that a few times. Both feet, of course. I'm not going to do both, though. Another thing you can do is pull this to the outside. You're just going to kind of make little circles against it, or little half circles, and go in either direction. And you can do that on both sides of the foot. And yeah, this can be a little weird holding it. It's strange. You just kind of get used to it. Another thing that I've done with it before is you kind of wrap it around here and you just kind of pull against it. It's a little bit stranger. The main thing I use it for is just flat on the ball of the foot, pointing through the ankle. It's a really great exercise. You can really feel it in your ankles. If you've got like really stiff ankles or you feel like they need to crack, just do this a few times. It feels really great. So you just switch. If you feel like your band doesn't give you enough resistance, what you can do is fold it over. So you just have your band. And I really don't need to do it with this one because it has such a high resistance. But if you need to, you just fold it and you've got yourself more resistance. So, nice easy way. Otherwise, you can just grab it and pull against it more, because of course that's going to increase the resistance. See how different this is? do, 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 and then all the way down here, which I can barely work through. Yeah, so there are some very easy exercises for the feet and ankles using a resistance band. I'm going to be making more videos about using resistance bands for your arms and for stretching and stuff, so just keep an eye out. If there's anything you're really interested in, just always feel free to leave me a comment and I'll try to get to it. I mean, I can't do everything. I'm not an expert at any of this. I'm just a student like probably most of you are. But you know, if you have any suggestions or just any comments, just let me know. I'm happy to hear them. So get TheraBanding.